This is Something to Talk About from the Bainbridge Island Senior Community Center. And we meet several times a week right here online and occasionally also in person. If you're interested in attending in person, please give us a call in advance and we'll tell you whether we can set up a space for you here at the Senior Center to join us. The programs are sponsored by Fieldstone Communities of Bainbridge Island, which offers memory care, independent living, and assisted living now up on Rolling Bay. If you'd like to take a tour or if you'd like to learn about their day stay and respite programs, jot down this phone number, 360-594-1010. And I'd also like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the ancestral homeland of the Puget Sound Coast Salish people, specifically our neighbors, the Suquamish tribe, who have been plying the waters of the Salish Sea since time immemorial. We are grateful for their hospitality and we honor them. And we're grateful for you being here today. We're going to talk a little bit about fall, which is descending upon us in the forecast and also in person. And we're looking ahead to a busy fall here at the Bainbridge Island Senior Community Center. And joining me to help talk about that is Lena Wilson, who is our program manager. Lena, thank you very much.
Hello, everyone.
And we also have a lot of folks here who are running programs or helping to facilitate activities. And I'm looking forward to giving you all a quick brief look at what's coming up. Lena, I would love it if you would help by taking attendance. If you can try to do that, I would appreciate it. So in your mailbox today or tomorrow should be the new September-October Splash, which is our bi-monthly program and newsletter. And I will be putting it up on our website, biseniorcenter.org, on Friday the 1st. And so you can check it out there as well. One of the biggest things that has happened in the last month is that we have started to share some space. We're renting some space from the Bainbridge Island Rowing Boathouse, which is right across the street from the Senior Center. And that has allowed us to move some programs and activities across the street, which means that we can also offer more programs here. A few of our classes were getting so big that we had to turn people away, not something we like to do. And so we have moved line dancing on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10:30 over, starting, well, some of it started last week, but the Friday line dancing starts the second week of September, because this Friday is the 1st. And also Pilates is over there, and Audrey Piper is here. Audrey, I'd like you to tell us, if you could, a little bit about what happens with your Pilates class, and you had the opportunity to use that space a little bit. So I'm imagining you might be able to say something about that.
Oh, sure. I love the new space. It's absolutely beautiful. It's really pleasant to have a class in. In my class, we work out for about 55 minutes. If anybody is familiar with Pilates, I'm sorry if I'll bore you with a few details, but Pilates is a method of exercise where you work from the core. You're always working the core first. So we work the muscles closest to the bones, and that includes the joints. And we work from the inside out, from the head to the bottom of the feet. It's a complete workout. Everything's a little bit different from one week to the next. This group that I've had now, I guess, for a couple of years, we've come along, really moved along, but new people are dropping in all the time. But I've seen great strength and flexibility improvement in so many people that are coming. We have a great time. We use foam rollers, we use stretch bands, we use hand weights, and I love the opportunity to give the class at the Senior Center, and I love the new space. So I hope that tells you about it.
Yeah, so you meet at 11:30, and and you have, if somebody is thinking about joining, do you like to have a chance to have them check in with you so you can find out a little bit about what their history is?
You know, I love that opportunity if it exists. Sometimes, mostly people just show up and then we have a really kind of a quick conversation in the first few minutes of class. And if they've never done Pilates before, I always make sure they tell them they can't do it wrong. There's nothing to do wrong, and then I'll keep my eye on them. And but just, you know, keep breathing and keep moving. And if somebody presents with, you know, maybe I haven't really had this in this particular class, but if somebody's like 8 weeks from a hip replacement or from a shoulder replacement or something, that's critical to know. And I do want to make sure that we're doing the correct things for that person in that class. A class can be a little iffy. I think most people that might be post-operative don't get released into something like that by their doctor or their PT until they're safe to do so. But that information is important, and I would always want to know that. But yeah, I do enjoy speaking with them before class if that's an opportunity when they're new.
Great. Thank you so much for your sharing of your expertise with us. We
It's a
really,
pleasure.
really appreciate it. So Pilates and Tai Chi, and also what's bridge, duplicate bridge is moving across the street. And so that means that we have the opportunity to add some programs here at the senior center that we didn't have before. And one of those is we're going to try to add another yoga class. Melanie, I hope you don't mind if I put you on the spot and ask you to talk a little bit about we're talking about trying to start a 10:15 in the morning yoga class coming up in a couple weeks. And you've been working on sculpting what that's going to be.
Thanks, Reed. Can you see me, hear me? Because I can't
Yeah.
see me, hear me. So it's really not that different so much in the, I really want to make it accessible to everyone. I don't want anyone to worry about coming in and feeling behind or like they can't do it. So I've been going to some different classes to try and see what other people do. Some of the things I've learned that it'll be slower than I've had it before, like lots of time to let you really feel the pose, because that's what I want. Breath, movement, awareness. And sometimes it takes a little while. If you go hurrying through the steps like a new teacher does sometimes, you're just doing calisthenics, you know, it's still good, but there's another part to it that is so sweet. So slower, maybe not always so much information, just a kind of a more of an awareness in everything, through the breath, through slower movements, through trying to get people to do it from the chair if that works best for them. I did a whole class last week of in chair yoga myself, and it was really interesting for me because there are parts of it, it's not easy, because then you really have to fine tune what you're doing with your body, because you can't cheat with your legs. Anyway, I just would like people to come in and get that opening into yoga, to take home with them, to take into and always with alignment, take into your everyday movements, and balance also, which comes from alignment, and look forward to coming, as opposed to thinking, oh, this is too hard, or the person next to me seemed to be doing more. I just want it to be welcoming. That's all.
Great. Lena, did you have something you wanted to add here?
Yes, I just wanted to thank you, Melanie, for mentioning the chair piece for yoga, because that is one thing I'm getting feedback from. Our several members are interested in trying some of these classes, but they're really nervous and scared about the mat and getting on the floor, the mat piece. So I'm trying to put more in the emails and promotion about certain classes that chairs are okay to use, to hopefully attract those people who might be a little nervous, and hesitant to try. So I'm just, thank you for mentioning that, because I think that's helpful for a lot of people.
I'll throw out that we do have two specific chair yoga classes. One is on Tuesday mornings, and one is on Wednesday afternoons. And then in addition, thanks to our expansion of the bridge over to BI rowing, the bridge group on Thursday, we can now offer sail classes Monday through Friday at 1:30. And sail is a stay active for independent living class that you can do exercises from a chair. You can do them standing and holding a chair, or you can do them standing independently. So it's a curriculum that is certified and endorsed by the state, and you'll find it operates at a whole bunch of senior centers across the country.
Great.
I want to switch now to talk about some of the other things that are going on in addition to exercise. Lori De Leon is here, and we are looking at Evergreen Singers, which has actually, for the first time in a long time, met all the way through the summer. And you're now getting ready for the fall.
Getting ready for the fall. Yeah, so we're going to do some holiday programming, and after this past year being my first year, I really would like to see us this upcoming year go the whole year if we can, and really bullseye some of the celebrations. Like we talked a bit about trying to sing at Juneteenth. We can ask about that as we get closer, but you know, boy, if there's something festive going on, it'd sure be nice to be singing there. So, and
Great. So you have about 15 or 20 people who have been showing up.
Yeah, it's fun. We have fun time. Yeah, exercise for the spirit.
That's great. And if I don't have any, if I don't read music, can I still come?
Yeah, I'd sure like to encourage people that are curious and don't have that experience to allow for a learning curve, because we come in and, you know, and when you're in the choir, you sing as well as the best person in the room. And if, you know, you have the perception instead that everybody can do it but me, you don't get to take advantage of that. You know, there's a lot of repetition that we build in, and coming for one class to try it out probably feels overwhelming, but no, you don't have to read music, just have to trust the repetition will make a difference. So.
Great. Yeah, there's a lot of, I can tell there's a lot of joy in that group that that meets, and you're meeting on Tuesdays at noon.
Tuesday noon to 1:15. Yeah.
Great. Oh, and we might as well add, just for anybody who's watching now, that you might want to stop by on Sunday, the 3rd, right in front of Winslow Mall at 12:30.
Yep, we're going to do a flash mob, as it were.
So if you're downtown, there, as many tourists we know will be. Check out Evergreen Singers at 12:30 on Sunday. Let's see. I think that we have a couple of special events that are coming up this month. Let's start with Colleen. We have a big fundraiser coming up. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Okay, so I'm just part of the events committee, and what we do is plan parties, and we have about 10 a year. And most of the parties that we plan are donation only. So you can come to the party, and if you feel like donating, you can. And if you don't, you don't have to. So we want to encourage everybody to come. But our one fundraiser every year is, because of the graciousness of our own Bainbridge Island, the Edge Improv, we are going to be having that party on September 23rd. And that is a reservation only, and you may bring a guest. It is a fundraiser. It's $60 per person. And we're going to have some real good food and drinks and have the show. So typically, well, what we're going to do for that particular party is we're going to open the doors at 5:30. So from 5:30 to 6:30, we'll be socializing, get your table, see your friends. And at 6:30, the show will start. And you still can eat during and drink whatever you want during the show. And then we also, up and coming for the rest of the year, we have just a couple more things. And in October, we have our Halloween costume parade. That's always fun. It's the one and only potluck that we have. So everybody brings just some kind of finger food and we share in that. We have a costume parade. There will be a wonderful gift, I'm sure, for the winner of the costume parade. And that's on the 30th. We always do it the day before. Well, in the past, we have done it the day before Thanksgiving. So folks can be home at Thanksgiving and pass out their own candy and whatnot. So this will be the October 30th, and it's from 4 to 5:30. So that's just a really fun one. And then finally, to end out the year, it's going to be a super fun event. In fact, Lori, I just found this out, and I was meaning to send you a message because I know we have wanted you to be at our holiday party. However, the date has been changed on that. We had scheduled our annual holiday party for December 17th, but instead it's going to be a celebration, a birthday party for the celebration of the senior center, a historical celebration. It's going to be a super fun party. The marketing committee, the events committee, and staff will work together to make this a really, really bang out event. And that is going to be December 30th on a Saturday. So any of these events, I encourage people to be sure to read the Edge, see what's coming up for the times that follow the Edge coming out, but always be sure to watch for Reed's Monday Morning News, because things are really advertised in that as far as the time and do you have to register and what the party is all about. So I hope we see you at the parties.
Thank you, Colleen. And I need to amend that because Reed's Monday Morning News is now Reed and Lena's Monday Morning News.
Oh, wow.
Lena's doing a lot of heavy lifting to make sure that that thing has got everything in it that it should. And I really appreciate that, Lena.
Oh, stop. Thank you.
I appreciate it too, Lena.
So Kimberly is here, and also coming up this month, we have our annual resource fair. Can you tell us a little bit about what's in store for that? Just need to unmute.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Kimberly Garber. Jeanette Franks recruited me back in January for the resource committee because I had just retired as of December 31st. So yeah, ran into her. And so I thought, yeah, this sounds like fun. So I've been going to the resource meetings. We're planning the resource fair is September 30th. It's going to be from 11 to 3. We didn't meet over the summer, so our next meeting is September 12th. But I just was checking the G Drive for all the participants, and it looks like we're doing a pretty good job along with you, Reed, and Mimi, and the other people that are on the committee, Jeanette, Katie, OJ, and several other people that I'm forgetting to name. So yeah, I think everything's in motion, and I'm looking forward to participating.
Great. It's 11 to 3. And it's called Oktoberfest because actually Oktoberfest begins in September. So it's the last Saturday in the month of September, 11 to 3 here at the Senior Center. And we'll hope for good weather because we'll have people outside and inside.
Right.
Thank you very much. Lena, we have some stuff that's happening that isn't in the splash. I know that Eldon Van Leer is going to be coming back after couple of years, actually. Can you tell us a little bit about what he's going to be doing?
Yes, Eldon, I've been in contact with him recently, and we have him scheduled to come in and resume his art history lectures that BISC did a few years ago, I think prior to COVID, I believe. And he's real excited to do that. So those are going to be coming back in, and it'll be in the upcoming email, but I believe it's coming in September, the second week of September, I believe. So we're real excited about that. He's very excited. So instead of doing just the one class, as we talked it through with Eldon, he actually got very excited, and he's going to do one lecture a month for the remainder of the year. So he's really excited about that and different topics about art for each month. And you'll see that in the Monday email as well. And also adding on to that as well about a returning class, we have Vanera de Bella Barros is coming back to start a series about learning how to write, kind of a basic 101 writing series. And she was real excited about that as well. And even for people who have never written before, maybe they just want to document family stories, or maybe they thought about wanting to write a poem but don't know how to start, basic 101, where do I start? So that was her thought process in wanting to start this series, and that'll begin the first week of September as well. So you'll see that in the email also. So those are two returning instructors. We're really excited to come back on that. Oh, go ahead.
Another thing that is coming up that should have been in the splash, but we are human, is the first Wednesday of every month at 1 p.m. We have Adventures in Travel here at the Senior Center, and Sam Bartleson has been organizing these. And the first one is September 5th, a week from Wednesday. They're going to be talking about the route of the Maya. Sam and Annie and Alquan will be talking about their trip through El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Belize. And we'll also have presentations in October, November, and December on that first Wednesday of the month to such places as Sardinia, British Isles, biking through Europe. So keep an eye on the emails about that, because those are great presentations with people sharing some of their stories and pictures. And we actually will continue to support Colette's trips, which is a way that you can travel with other seniors to parts of the world. And when you do that, a little bit of a benefit goes back to our senior center. And maybe you'll take some pictures that can show up in one of Sam's presentations in the future. Anne Lovejoy is here, and I'd like to talk to you, Anne, about some of the inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility programming that we have coming up. And some of it is informational, and some of it is just going to be fun.
A lot of it's just going to be fun. The first thing is this Wednesday, we are making a trip to the Exclusion Memorial, excuse me. And we are so fortunate to have our docent is Lily Kodama, who's one of the survivors who has a 7-year-old child, was taken with her family. That first group of people who were taken to the camps right off Bainbridge Island, off the dock, right? She thought she was going on vacation. She was really excited. But Minidoka and Manzanar were not really vacation land for that family or anyone else. But she has such an interesting, rich life story, and hearing just, you can read all you want and you can go see the exhibits and it's very moving, but hearing the stories from a survivor just makes it so rich. And we're not going to have this generation with us forever. So I feel like anytime we get the chance to really hear those stories firsthand, first person, it's really worthy. So if you haven't signed up yet, please do, because you have to do it pretty soon. Lena, is it today the last day to sign up? I'm not sure.
Today would be a good day to sign up.
Yes.
So that's
some interest in that, but yes, go ahead. Today's the last day.
Okay. They might squeak you in if you called in tomorrow, but call today because it's worth it. So the other things we're thinking about, we're going to be doing a kind of an intensive book study on Braiding Sweetgrass, which is a book a lot of people have read or thought about reading or bought and have it on the shelf or started to read or heard about other people reading. But we want to really take our time with it and not just do a one and done, but plunge in and do kind of a deeper dive. So we have scheduled, I think we're going to have 6 sessions. We had one already that was really about how do we want to structure this? What would be the richest way to explore this material and make it meaningful in our lives, not just a pleasant read or an interesting read or a horrifying read, whichever way it takes you. So on September 11th and 25th, we're going to have the first ones that'll be in that something to talk about slot, but they'll be hybrid. So if you want to be here in person, we'll meet in the dining room. Otherwise, you can be online and Zoom in, and we'll have like a facilitator online and a facilitator in the room so we can kind of handle the dynamic flow of the conversations. And I'm hoping that they will be really thoughtful and provocative in some good ways, right? That is something I'm really personally looking forward to quite a bit. And because it's the All Island Read, we are supporting that work with the city by providing books. So we're going to have 50 books, I believe. Is that correct, Reed? Yeah.
Yep,
So,
that's right. And they are on order, and
Yeah.
we'll let you know as soon as they show up.
And I talked to John Fawcett at the library, and he has scraped together all the copies in the system, which he's brought to the Bainbridge branch. So if you want to hustle down there, you can probably get one of those copies too. And there are a few, one of the most beautiful is to listen to Dr. Kimmerer read her own book. It's one of my comfort things when I'm knitting is I listen to her beautiful voice talking about amazing things. But that is a wonderful way to take in this beautiful information if you want to do that. Another thing we have an opportunity to do is the Queer Elder Family Group, which started a few years ago, has now got about 55 members, and it's one of the great, lovely, safe places for the elder queer community on Bainbridge to get together. And not only do they get together and have a good time, they also sponsor a number of events. And the biggest one is coming up. It's the Queer Bingo, which will be on Saturday, October 28th, right? And so it's a costume contest. It's a no alcohol event, but it's amazing how much fun you can have. And we are going to have some of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence coming and doing their blessings, and we're just going to have a great time. And it's a scholarship that last year we raised over $5,000 for HITSAP students in the arts and humanities. So super worthy, super fun. Definitely don't want to miss it. And you got it, no reservations, so you have to be there early to make sure you get a table. The other thing I just wanted to quick mention is this Friday, First Friday Art Walk at the library is going to feature some artwork from different BISC arts and humanities programs or working with the museum. So there's artwork from from our members, but also the knitting group has been invited to knit in. And so we're going to be there in person doing some extremely rowdy knitting. And hopefully any of you want to talk about fiber arts or just come and hang out, will sit with us.
Rowdy knitting, boy, that's not to be missed. Of course, that happens almost every Thursday here.
Well, it does. And what I love about this group is it's a respite group for people who are caregiving. To come and laugh and have a wonderful time for a couple hours a week is like worth diamonds. So it's a really sweet group. And I encourage anyone, even if you just want to hold a ball of yarn in your hand for a while, you don't have to knit.
Good. This month, September, right? We're not quite there yet, but it's coming right up. Is National Senior Center Month. And Lena, can you tell us a little bit about a exciting thing that's going to happen for us this month relative to that?
Actually, this was a surprise. Something I learned recently about this. The NCOA announced that September is National Senior Center Month. I didn't know that. So with that being said, and talking with Reed, the city of Bainbridge Island is going to acknowledge this and the senior center in September. Now, I don't have a date and time, Reed. Maybe, I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, it's the first council meeting of the month, which will be September 12th, Tuesday. and they'll meet. And we have asked for them to consider a proclamation for Bainbridge Island, declaring it Senior Center Month right here.
Yes.
And it sounds like Mayor Fauntleroy Johnson is going to do that. So I will definitely be on hand, and anybody who wants to join me. It's just kind of a nice thing to call out the good work that the Senior Center and Island Volunteer Caregivers and Helpline and Housing Resources Bainbridge all do, specifically with programs that are focused on making this a good place to grow up and grow older.
Right. So when that does come and go on or come on September 12th, I think it'd be really neat if we could get as many members from the Senior Center to come down there to not only witness it but be a part of it, because it is an important thing and it's exciting. And let's be down there to support this. It's a wonderful thing.
And as I recall, they do this at the beginning of the meeting, so you don't have to block your whole Tuesday evening. Let's see, what other things should we mention that are coming up, Lena?
Let me get it done here. We do have some changes in a couple of classes. The sound bath classes that's becoming really popular with our members. It's now changing to Thursday evenings beginning in September, and it's going to be in Huney Hall. And for anybody that knows about sound bath classes, or even if you don't, because it's based on sound and frequencies, the acoustics in Huney Hall, we're hoping to be a big benefit for the people that are taking these classes. So the instructor is very excited. The current members who take it are very excited. So hopefully you guys can come check it out. They're going to be on Thursday evenings from 5 to 6 for the month of September, and we'll see how that rolls out, and hopefully we'll continue afterwards, but we hope to see everybody there. So just jump online and sign up or call the front desk to reserve your spot, but plenty of room at Huney Hall. So we're really excited about that.
We will be also working with the folks at Bainbridge Island Museum of Art. For many years, Steve Parsons has led a meditation group on Thursday mornings. And mostly it's been online, but he's also had some in-person activities. And so that coming the first part of October, I think the first Thursday is October 5th. The mindfulness meditation will be moving to the Senior Community Center at 9:15. And there'll be, until then, they'll still continue to meet at BIMA, but keep your eye out and anticipate signing up and joining us here for that. Steve has been doing that for several years. I think it begins with a little reflection, and then there's about half an hour of silence, and then he wraps up with another comment or reflection. We have a lot of art classes. We've been working with BIMA and with the Bainbridge Arts and Crafts and with our own creative folks here. And keep an eye out. I know that we have had one of the challenges is we have more interest than we have space or activities. And we'll continue to look for ways that we can increase the opportunities here. And the other thing that I might want to let you know about is that we continue to work with the city on planning a future senior center. We would like to recognize that the need for the programs and services that we offer continues to grow. I think as of today, we're about 1,850 members, and that we get new members every week. And so having programs to respond to our needs and are very important. So at the end of the month of September, we're going to have a discussion on Friday the 29th about where we are with the rebuilding, the creation of a new senior center plans. And that will be right here at 1:30 in the afternoon. So I invite you to make a Zoom appointment to join us for that. And we also are always welcome to ideas that you might have about programs that we should add. It's an ongoing conversation, and this is a lively place, and most of the things that we do here are the result of people making suggestions. And so you are the folks to do that. Any final thoughts, Lena? or anyone?
Yeah, sorry, I was just getting my mute undone. One thing I did want to mention, and I see I've got a couple of people here that are on the new member committee, is that we did have an increase in new member signups over the summer. I wanted to mention, I think the 4th of July booth might have had a big uptick for that, which was great because we had a big group come in recently. Now, with that being said, we're fine tuning our new member orientation to welcome our new members who don't know much about the senior center, but also to give them a rundown on the logistics about signing in and the kiosk and things like that, but all the wonderful things that the senior center offers. But I think now that we're moving farther away from COVID too, we want to start resuming, hopefully, the Fob Friday walkabouts through the different businesses down in Winslow. That's been kind of put on hold for a little bit, but we're trying to pick that dialogue back up again and hope to resume that for the new members. And we'll see how that works. And Anne, if you'd like to add in on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say we've been doing the farmers markets booths and stuff. And I have to say the thing that most people are really excited about is that that shoe store has, you can get 10% off the shoe store that
Soulmates is the
Soulmates, thank you. That for some people, for most people, you're like, yeah, this, yeah, that. What? The shoe store? That is like a huge deal. Isn't that hilarious? And I like to point out to all of you to remember that you can use that fob every Friday, but some stores take it every day, like Millstream. And it's just a good way to make friends. And really, it's all about supporting local businesses. If we want our elders to be able to access everything that's available and that they need in their lives locally, we have to keep those stores alive. So being part of the community, shopping locally, it's really an important promotional program, I think.
So yes, you can check that out if you look at the benefits tab on the website, or go to biseniorcenter.org/join. There's a list of all of the participating merchants right there. And all you need to do is show them this little thing that you carry around with you all the time. I know. This is also a way that you can sign up with classes. You use your barcode on the back and you can register.
Oh, and a friendly reminder, one more, sorry to interrupt, Reed. Just another verbal reminder to anybody who's going to be watching this to use your fob, or if you forget, sign in at the kiosk at the front desk, because we do really utilize the numbers that we extract from that for different programs and so forth. And I know it's not a flashy conversation, but those numbers are important. So just remember.
Also, so as some of these instructors know, sometimes something comes up and they're not going to be able to be there. If you're a regular at a class, we're able to send you a note that says, oh, today we had a little mix up and there's not going to be class today, before you get all the way down to the senior center.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody who showed up today to help tell the story of what's going on right now.